Hi there guys, welcome back to another video, and in this week's video we're going over whether you should invest 25k in property or in stocks. Before we get into the video, obviously this isn't financial advice, so it's very important to take this information with a pinch of salt and of course do your own research before investing. So in this video we're going over whether you should be investing that 25k of yours into property or into stocks. So essentially we'll be going over what 25k will actually get you in the property market and what 25k will actually get you in the stock market, and then towards the end I'll give you my overall thoughts in terms of which one I think is better. But again, before we jump into the video, if you wouldn't mind just leaving a like and hopefully subscribing if you enjoy, that would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So what will 25k get you in today's property market? Now 25k is actually a very reasonable amount to help you get onto the property ladder in 2021. Now again, a lot of people say that you need loads of money to get into property, and although that is slightly true, even a fairly small sum of 25k can help you get a really nice buy to let, which you'll be benefiting over and over again. So yeah, essentially with that 25k, what you'll be able to get is a very nice, simple buy to let that could potentially even be ready to go and make you money from day one. So these kinds of investments, they can range from around 20,000 to 25,000, maybe a bit higher if you wanted to, but on the average length it's around 20 to 25k, and that's all in. So not only is that the deposit, that's the refurbishment if one is needed, and that's all the legals as well. So hopefully the max you'll be paying is around 20 to 25k. But what will you actually be getting from this turnkey property that you've invested 25k into? So firstly, obviously the main thing you'll be benefiting from is the actual tangible asset as a whole. Again, that's one thing property does have over stocks, is the fact that you own it and you can physically control it. Not only that, you'll also be benefiting from the monthly cash flow. Now, for the kind of deals that we do in the north, and again, this 20 to 25k is based off the deals that we do in the north. Again, it's pretty simple to get a buy to let for that amount of money there. If you're going further down south, then it will cost you a pretty penny more, to be fair. But yeah, for the ones that we do that are around 20 to 25k, you're usually looking at around £250 to £300 a month in pure profit. Now, although this £250 and £300 of profit a month won't change your life significantly, I mean, you won't be able to leave your job on it, but what it will do is act as a benchmark to allow you to start investing even more. That £250 to £300, however you decide to spend it, I mean, a lot of our clients do tend to save it towards their next deposit, but however you plan to spend that money, it's completely up to you. Of course, the main thing with these buy-to-lets is obviously the compound interest. Over time, that £250, that £300 is going to grow into quite a large sum of money. But again, another benefit to these buy-to-lets is that over time, it's more than likely that the value of that property is going to increase in value. Meaning, say in around 5 to 15 years, the property is going to be worth significantly more. Usually people go by the phrase of, your property will double every 10 years. So although it's quite a long method, it's definitely passive and something you don't need to spend too much time looking into. So in short, that is essentially what 25k will get you in property, a really nice, ready to go buy to let, which again is perfect if you're just entering the property market. Now moving on to the stock side of things, what can 25k actually get you in the stock market? Now with 25k, you can actually get quite a lot in the stock market, and there's plenty of benefits to that because again, there's so many different stocks that you can essentially choose from that your kind of investment portfolio is going to be extremely diverse. Now, unlike property where you've got that 25k all kind of tied up into one deal, what you can do with stocks is essentially put X amount into one stock, X amount into another, and just keep going like that. Now the benefit of this is obviously if one stock goes crashing down, hopefully your other stocks can kind of maintain the value of the portfolio. But again, this is why the stock market can get a bit overwhelming at times, because there's thousands of stocks that you could potentially invest in. And it's really important that you kind of do understand the stock market before you actually dive deep into it. Of course, one of the best things you can do in the stock market is almost invest into an index fund. Now, what an index fund essentially is it's almost like a group of stocks. So in the UK, we've got the FTSE 100. Now that tracks the top 100 companies in the UK. So if you put money into that, essentially what you'll be doing is, say you invest £5,000 into that, that £5,000 will be distributed between those top 100 companies. Same goes for America. Obviously in America, they've got the S&P 500. So say for example, you put £5,000 into the S&P 500, that's going to be diverse into the top 500 companies in the US. So obviously the benefit to this is that you've kind of spread your risk, So if one company drops and almost goes bankrupt, benefit to this is you kind of spread the risk quite significantly. So say for example, one stock crashes and kind of, I don't know, goes down 15, 20%, you've still got 99 or 499 other companies that will kind of help maintain the value of your portfolio. But again, that wouldn't necessarily mean I would put the whole 25k into an index fund, only because the index fund interest rates are good, but they're obviously nothing crazy. You're usually looking at around 8 to 10% annually, really, which is still really good considering you're doing absolutely nothing. But it might be good to kind of adventure out of that and start picking these individual stocks. So for me personally, I'd probably look to put around 15 to 20k into an index fund. And again, you can do more or less depending how confident you are with the market. And then with the remainder of the money, I'd pick some individual stocks. So stocks that I kind of know quite a lot about. I'm confident in the stock. I'm confident that they'll be long term, only to kind of increase the risk. So that's everything with the stock market. And as you'll probably notice, as I just went over that, you'll know that the stock market is a bit more risk than the actual property market. And obviously that's because you don't actually have control. Now, especially in this market, it's not unlikely for a stock to drop, 10 to 20% in one day. So if you are picking individual stocks, it's so important that you A, believe in the company, and B, you've done your research towards that company. So last but not least then, where would I put that 25k? Now, for me personally, that 25k is going straight into the property market. And again, it's not because obviously I do a lot in property, but it's because the property market is quite a safe market. You kind of know what you're going to get, you can control the asset, and over time, the value of the property is going to increase in value. Needless to say though, the stock market is definitely something I'd try and put more money into. If I had 25k sitting there in cash, I'd probably just put it straight into property and then put some cash into the stocks on a monthly basis. It's only because with the property side of things, you're getting that really healthy cash flow. And although in the stock market, you can invest into dividend stocks and you can still get some cash flow from that in a sense, as it is kind of hands off. It's just that obviously I know a bit more about property than I do the stock market. And obviously when it comes to investing, it's so important that you invest in what you know. If you know a lot about the stock market, then definitely go down that route. If you know a lot about property, then go down that route. If you don't know a lot about either, then it's really important to kind of up your knowledge and up your research and essentially just feel comfortable before you make that investment. So again, that is everything for this video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like and please do consider subscribing. Also, do be sure to comment below how you would invest that 25k. And until next Wednesday, we'll see you soon.